Hi everybody, I'm Greg.
And I'm Mateo.
We're here to talk to you about Suzhou River, doing our video presentation, Fractured Narratives. We're here to talk about how the different filming styles accomplish the director's goals.
Now in Suzhou River, we're going to be looking at three different styles of camera perspective. The first type is first-person active perspective, and the second type is first-person passive perspective.
The third type in Suzhou River is third-person objective.
Now here we can see Mei Mei walking down the street, and of course this is from the cameraman's perspective, first-person passive. Active and passive are the terminology that we're using to describe these types of scenes. Now this is a passive scene because the videographer is not interacting with any other characters. He's simply viewing them from a distance.
我问马达是谁，他说就是住在附近的一个疯子。马达是个送货的。
As soon as the narrator begins to relay Modan and Mardar's story, the camera shifts to a third-person objective perspective. The shift in perspective allowed Lo Ye not only to differentiate between the characters, but also to differentiate the past and the present, something that becomes a little more confusing as the characters meet. In first-person active, the audience is put on the spot. They're put in the shoes of the videographer, and it can occasionally make them feel uncomfortable. It is no coincidence that the videographer in Suzhou River is left unnamed. It allows people to experience life through his perspective and feel his emotions. The audience is able to see very clearly the emotions of the people the videographer is talking to.
Now the three film clips that we're about to show you are particularly interesting and particularly relevant to our discussion because of their changes in perspective. Now Lo Ye uses these changes in perspective in the film particularly well, and these are some of the shining examples that we have picked out for you.
In this very emotional scene, Modan is threatening to jump off the bridge. Mardar is trying to save her. He can't. And there's a moment here where the perspective switches to first person and you look into Modan's eyes the same way you've been looking into Mei Mei's eyes. That is, of course, when she jumps.
In this scene, the audience is put in Mardar's shoes, feeling Mardar's emotions as he watches this woman who he loves fall to her death, the same way that the audience has been experiencing emotions through the videographer's perspective.
Now see this? This scene is so simple, yet so great. Now in this scene, we're locked again into the perspective of the videographer. Now, it's this kind of perspective and this suspension of disbelief that allows Loye to tell his story while still making the audience feel as though they are a part of it. They are experiencing this story firsthand while still developing the character of the videographer.
我对美美一无所知，她从来不说，我也不问，只是喜欢这么看她、拍她，她也不在意。
Now see what's happening here? It's very clear in this scene that the videographer is not holding the video camera. We've been transitioned seamlessly into his head, and we are now looking at the world through his eyes. This perspective brings us closer and brings us into an intimate perspective where we feel that we are interacting with Mei. The way that the camera tilts and blurs gives us a very intimate, close, and personal feeling.
The scene where Mardar, the videographer, and Mei are in the same apartment building is particularly interesting. There are a lot of overlapping perspective styles. Whoa! Hope you were paying attention.
Did you catch that?
哎，美美，你怎么了？
我晚上有一场演出。
要不然别去了。
Perspective changes wildly between first person and third person. Mardar and the videographer, both revolving around Mei. I would say that this scene above all is indicative of the chaotic narrative, the fractured narrative of Suzhou River.
见到了我。你找我有什么事吗？他对我说，美美就是他一直找的牡丹。